Okay, so I checked myself in to the LGH hospital, and yes, I was in bad shape. My bilirubin was really high, my sodium was high, and at this point, I just wanted to get back to normal. So they gave me a couple of blood fusions. I got all kinds of pills taken, shots. It was crazy, and they didn't know if they could do anything for me. I mean, they said, "Hey, we might be able to just get you back to normal. You might just have to live with this." I thought, well, that ain't no good. So, I had a lot of good people working behind the scenes, and my goal was to get accepted by the University of Pennsylvania, and they accepted my case, and that was a miracle right there that they accepted my case because otherwise, I was just gonna have to live the way I was, which was not a good way to be. So I got transported on. I was there on a Friday morning, and Saturday night around midnight, an ambulance came to transport me to University of Pennsylvania. I arrived there like 1:32 in the morning, and I had a young guy and a young girl were the transportees. The young guy, I don't remember his name, but he was only 19 years old, and I talked him into teaching him a game called Cows and Bulls. And this is a side thing, but it took time. I mean, the drive was about an hour and a half, and I'd say when we were halfway, I talked him into this. When we were done playing, we only had 10 more minutes to go, so that was a good thing. How you play Cows and Bulls? I pick a three-digit number, you pick a three-digit number, and we take turns guessing the three-digit number. If you get a number that is correct in the right spot, I say you get a bull. If you get a number that's correct in the wrong spot, I say you get a cow. If you don't get any numbers right, which is a good thing to do because it wipes out numbers, you say nothing. And you go back and forth and do this until you can figure out the number. Well, this young man beat me twice and I beat him once. So he was a good learner. He must have been good at math and figured out clues. And he was a champion that day. And he said he couldn't wait to play with his dad. His dad was a surgeon in Lancaster General Hospital. And he said he was very competitive and he couldn't wait to play with his dad. So that was kind of neat. I got to teach a young guy a new game. Anyway, I arrived at University of Pennsylvania. Everybody was super there. Everybody was nice. I can't complain about anything. I had great nurses, great aides, and I had the best in the world. It turned out that University of Pennsylvania was the number 13th ranked hospital in the United States. I had three teams working on behalf of me. One was a surgeon group headed up by Dr. Roses, who turns out to be one of the top specialists in this area. Um, there was a radiology team and a oncology team, I believe. I don't even remember. I saw so many people in that period of time, I didn't have any idea what was going on. Anyway, they studied me, watched me for a while. I was put on food, off food, on water, off food, and I knew when I was off food and water that I was probably gonna get surgery because I've been through things like this before. And at this point, they uh, took some images, and there was another person up there that could do these stent cleanings. I had to get my stents cleaned in the last time they couldn't do it. Well, this was a young girl. I bet you she was 30 in her 30s. She was able to clean my stents, get them all cleaned out, and that was a miracle. That was miracle number two. However, my liver, as they said, was all effed up, and they compared it to 5 or 6 highways going into the liver and only one coming out. There was a traffic jam and it wasn't draining. My bilirubin stayed at 15. It didn't go down, didn't go anywhere, and I got weaker and weaker. And one thing they do is every day they give me goals to take walks. And there was a guy, Matt, on Dr. Rose's team that really motivated me. I don't know, he was 6 foot something, big guy, bald, beard, tattoos everywhere. And he would give me goals and he would motivate me. And he would say, do 10 laps today. Well, Doug Horse wanted to do more than he said, so I did 11. Next day he goes, wow, that's great, but every time you do more, I'm going to up it. So he did 20. Now I did 22. Then he said 30. Well, I did 32. And I continued this for several days because I wanted to work as hard as they were. I wanted to be in the best possible shape for this surgery so when I came out that I would recover quickly and fast. So anyway, this went on for a while, and it looked like I was going to get surgery. It looked like they were going to put a drain into my liver. that would come outside my body, and I would have a bag, so I'd have an external drain, and this is going to be permanent. Which, in the shape I was in, that sounded pretty good to me. I thought, that's better than dying, and I wouldn't have to get the stents cleaned anymore. I kind of like that idea. But God had different ideas. My grandson was getting baptized on Sunday, June 4th, and he actually wanted me to be in the pool with him, which unfortunately I couldn't be there. I couldn't make it. But I could watch it. I promised him I would watch it live. So I got the link to watch the Ephrata Community Church. And that morning, the service, the worship was all about healing. I watched my grandson get baptized, and the sermon was given by Barry Whistler, who I always enjoyed his messages. He was always like a father figure to me. He's not that much older than me. But the way he talks and the way he's calm, I always enjoyed listening to him, and his sermon was all about healing. And I probably went through a half a box of Kleenexes during that service between worship, watching my grandson, and Barry's message. And I really felt that God healed me. I felt that God touched me, and he healed my liver. Well, Monday came, and they released me. They said, your belly room is coming down, and we think you can go home. We think you can go on a trip. In fact, Dr. Rosa says, I got people, and we were going to go to Utah. It was actually it was a birthday present from my daughter and son-in-law. When I turned 60, they said I could go anywhere I want to go, and I chose Utah. I wanted to go to Bryce Canyon and Zion National Park, and turned out we did so much more than that. Had a great time, but I didn't think I was going to get to go on this trip. A week before we were ready to leave, we were supposed to leave on the 13th of June. I didn't even get my surgery yet. So I figured there's no way I'm going to get my surgery and be able to go on this trip. I mean, I can't even freaking walk. So anyway, I lost 20 pounds in the hospital. I was there for 11 days. I went from 154 to 135, and I didn't think I was going to go. Well, I got released on that Monday. I came home. I had a week to prepare. I started lifting weights. I tried to walk, and I did what I could to do it. And I went on that trip. And in fact, I hiked probably over 30 miles in that week. I gained 10 pounds. When I got home, I just got home a couple days ago. It was the 20th of June. We were there a week. And in fact, the one hike we did was the Queen's Garden in Bryce Canyon. That was about 4.5 miles from beginning to finish. And we did it in actually, I think it was like 6 miles. And we did it in like 4 hours. And the last part of this hike was about 1,000 feet, maybe more, straight up vertical. A lot of switchbacks back and forth. I got all hot, clammy, sweaty. I thought I was going to pass out. I didn't think I was going to make it, but I did. I pretended I was the little engine that could. I kept saying, I think I can, I think I can. And the hare and the tortoise. I was the tortoise. I just kept going steady, steady, steady. When I got tired, I stopped, rested, drank water, ate a snack, and I made it. I made it to the top. I really felt like I accomplished something. And we had such a great time. But I want to tell you that miracles are for today. My little grandson, who's 6 years old, had believed from the very beginning, that I would be healed, my liver would be healed, and I would get to go on that trip. And I said, I agree with you, Judah. It says in the Bible, if two or more agree, it shall happen. Well, I had thousands of people agreeing with me. I had aunts in South Carolina and their church praying for me. The church of Ephrata Community Church was praying for me. My sister-in-law, Joanne, down in Florida, she has a Bible study that she goes to. There's 69 people in that. They were all praying for me. I mean, I had the whole world praying for me, and I could feel it. So I want to tell you that miracles can happen. You have to have the faith of a mustard seed, and you got to want to believe it's going to happen.